There's no better time to find these tremendous Mazda savings than right now at Team Mazda. Get 0% financing on any new Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-50, or the Mazda CX-90. Find out just how much you can save at Team Mazda on Airline.
Welcome to it, everybody. 7:02, the Plus 9 News now. Okay, so if we mention the letters together, ASMR.
Yeah.
What do they stand for something? Kirsten, our producer.
That's a good question.
Does ASMR stand for something, or is it just the letters and people know that it stands for something?
But I think people know the acronym better than what the acronym actually is.
And so it's like, the sound of something that kind of is.
Yeah.
Is this that sound? I don't know, man. Is that creepy? Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Wow.
I've never heard that in my life.
Well,
Here
you're
you
of
go,
an
you're
age,
learning
Johnny.
something.
ASMR?
You're of an age.
You know, you can make a lot of money doing that on TikTok, just doing that.
You know what? This may be the way for you to stop showing your feet pictures, and you can actually ASMR the apple.
You don't like his feet pictures?
Yeah, they're a little weird. They're hairy. It's like a hobbit.
What?
How did this become all about me?
It's always about you.
It is, oh, you love this.
I'm going to start calling you. Calling you Johnny Appleseed over there.
Hey!
My beautiful pastor, she went to a conclave.
What?
It's conclave.
An apple orchard?
She went to a convention for United Methodist pastors
I was thinking it too.
and visited an orchard.
Yes.
And she said, I wondered if apples picked fresh from the tree taste different than the grocery store.
Yeah.
And she said, absolutely they do. So she brought some of us back that have some, and I don't even know what it is, but it was
delicious.
from a, orchard that had no pesticides or whatever. And you pick them and eat them right off the tree. And she gave us one on Sunday after church at a meeting, and I'm like, this isn't going to taste. It tastes different.
Really?
It is a noticeable difference.
Okay. Sweeter?
It's just so much fun. You go into any one of those things, be it a strawberry field or a watermelon field, or it does. It's something about just pulling it straight from the earth.
It makes a difference too, because back when I was younger, we would grow some stuff. We would grow like little radishes.
Yeah.
Usually radishes are not spicy, but I'll tell you, if you eat one of those fresh out of the ground,
Really?
it's got a little bit of a kick to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
I hear what are you trying to show us?
That's my pastor and her husband.
Okay.
That's
And that's my pastor picking and eating. Does that remind you of a Genesis story?
Oh,
I mean, come on. I laughed at her about that. But that was,
well, it's I guess, more so than maybe Jared's radishes.
yeah.
Because if you had a radish in the garden of the Genesis,
That's symbolic.
the things may
a
go
spicy
different.
radish?
I'm gonna wrestle one of those up for you, and you can eat one of those next time.
Does it taste better than the grocery store radish?
I mean, it's a little bit spicier, so I mean, it's
fresh from
different.
the-
So I know what you mean when you say it tastes a little different.
It is very different. I mean, it's just
Fresh?
Then the grocery?
I wonder, can we buy these at a
I've looked, probably
Like,
local.
you need a
if it's-
farmer's-
Yeah,
you
like
need a farmer's
Southside
market.
Market.
Yeah,
Southside or farmers.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
where
sure
you
you
go.
could.
I tell you what, the one of the things that I loved doing as a kid down here in South Louisiana, when we talk about picking fresh, we would drive over to, my family has a camp in Jennings, the Lake Arthur area.
Ben loved it.
The sugarcane farms. And when I was an itty bitty, we would go from Jennings down to the family camp in Lake Arthur, and along the way, the sugarcane farmers would be out there, and they would obviously be selling, big time to the production plants, that kind of thing. But you could go in and you could buy like a stalk or chunks of stalk, and we just sit there and gnaw on raw sugarcane.
That's
to and
the
from.
best.
Oh, it was so good.
That's the best.
And that is the best, right off.
I
right
believe
off
it.
the, right off
Fresh
the earth.
from the harvest.
we need to grow these things down here and eat them.
Well, how about
need
you
to grow
start
all of our food.
take that seed from
There
there
you
and
go.
then start planting that tree. But Johnny, if you turn that apple, you see the colors on that?
Yeah.
It kind of matches the Sky 9 camera today.
Oh, look at that.
It does a little bit.
Look
Let's
how pretty.
see.
So you see that?
Yeah.
And then we bring that. Look at
Wow.
that.
Look at that.
See
Well,
what
that's
y'all did.
Presto, bing, bam, boom. Look at that magic trick.
Sweet.
Look at that, Johnny. You are some kind of sorcerer. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
you so much.
Feet pictures.
All right, and enjoy your apple. Do you have any more apples? Just the one? Oh boy. All right. Well, anyway, getting a live look outside. Notwithstanding Johnny's apple, we got a beautiful sunrise out there. 69 degrees out your door. Made it down to the upper 60s. Got down to 68 in the downtown area. But we want to do something about those highs. They've been in the lower 90s the past couple of days. They're going to be for today, and then we'll start to fix these temperatures. We've got to fix the dew points too. Now it's interesting because the dew points drop off a little bit on Thursday. We do have a chance of rain on Thursday. It's not a great one, and then you'll see the dew points start to pop up again. But it's not going to do a lot to the way that it feels out there. there because the rain chances come into the mix, and that should keep high temperatures in check. So certainly over the next 5 days, we can handle that. Not a lot of heat. Meantime, on the live local radar, all these flickers of green on your screen down here, they're not hitting the ground, but what might be is this stuff right here in lighter shade of green passing by to the east of Alexandria. But right now, it looks like that's falling apart, and it will fall apart before it gets to Baton Rouge. So we're still looking good, still looking dry, not looking as dry out to the tropical Atlantic. Look at this. That is newly formed or recently formed Tropical Storm Kirk. It formed yesterday, still a tropical storm, but then 1, 2, 3 ends up being a major Category 3. Good news is it's a fish storm, so thankfully. And this next one coming off the coast of Africa, that'll probably get the L name. That'll be Leslie. The next one will be the M storm if this becomes anything. And oh, by the way, it's certainly not a guarantee that it gets a name, but if it does so, that'll be the M storm. That would be Tropical Storm Milton, maybe getting into the Gulf. Now, I like what the model's doing here with the available moisture because it shows you the trend. Now, again, we can't guarantee that we're going to have a named storm in the Gulf going up to this weekend into early next week. But you notice what the model starts to do with the moisture. It sends it and pulls it more towards Florida as a big-time cold front comes into the picture. That's going to be the first significant October cold front. That's the one that changes the game. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, this is the front that usually puts an end to our hurricane season as far as we're concerned here. Of course, we do still have another couple weeks to go over here. The eastern part of the Gulf, they've got to have their eyes open right on into November, no doubt about that. Whatever rain that we get in Baton Rouge, looks like it's going to be manageable over the next week or so. But again, you go out to the eastern Gulf into Florida, and they really don't need to deal with that. 91 degrees for today, mixture of sun and clouds, really not a bad day. And again, the humidity, not too bad either. We're going to try to drop into the 60s again overnight tonight, but it looks like we drop down to about 70, close but no cigar. And then in the all-important 10-day forecast, the rain chances over the weekend, right now they're not that big. I would say go ahead and keep your outdoor weekend plans. You should be good to go. Then we cool down the highs and the lows later on in the 10-day forecast. Johnny Appleseed, how are the roads?
We're busy coming out of Denham Springs. As always, it's nothing out of the ordinary, not seeing any wrecks or breakdowns to get in your way, but we are seeing slow traffic starting before Jubin, right past this shot right there, which is the range camera, and then all the way into this Baton Rouge area. Kind of give you an idea of about a half an hour from Jubin to the 1012. And you can see that on our interactive drive time map right there. So right before Jubin, that's where it starts, slows down again right around Pete's Highway and Range, and then crossing the Amite River Bridge into East Baton Rouge Parish, slowest traffic there. Once you get beyond that, from the 1012 to downtown, light to moderate traffic right around College, Acadian, and Perkins. When you get past the City Park Lakes, it's fine going across the bridge, and our bridge stalled vehicle on the bridge is no longer, so you have a good flow of traffic there. 10 after 7, 7:10, and we call this WAFB 9 News Now. On a scale of 1 to bacon, you are bacon. We'll be right back.
Coming back at 7:11 your time right now. I want to let you know, looking ahead to about, 12 hours from now, special coverage of the vice presidential debate. You'll see it right here at WAFB.
CBS News is hosting this vice presidential debate, the only one that'll be before the election here. So what's at stake here? Obviously, the role for the White House, but what's going to be the topic of conversation? Abortion. That's going to be a big key topic here. Labor unions. That's going to be another topic. You can see here, WAFB is going to air this debate, 8 o'clock our time, Central Time, but Matt mentioned it. That special coverage, it's going to interrupt your programming at 7 o'clock Central Time. Keep that in mind tonight, and we'll, of course, have a recap for you, 9 News at 10.
You mentioned union labor. on strike. Actually, port workers up and down the East Coast, Gulf Coast, and that includes Port Nola, on strike as of midnight this morning.
So the impact, well, to us, that could mean some of the things that we know and love, things like fruit, chocolate, all your day-to-day supplies, right? Even possibly some European cars. All of that has the potential to be impacted here. Now, the severity of how long all of these goods may be withheld, too early to tell. It just depends on how long the strike is here. You've got unions still working with companies and port authorities to try to figure out, can they come up with a deal to pay these port workers some more, and also ban the use of automated machines. A lot at stake here. We'll follow up on the latest.
You know the name Dr. Nick Abraham? A lot of folks do in Baton Rouge. A therapist in Baton Rouge, pretty popular. Liz, right now you got 3 law enforcement agencies looking for the person they believe killed him.
So let's show you a picture here. Authorities need your help identifying this person of interest. In this multi-agency search for this person, they believe that this person actually took his car, ended up crashing, and then running away from the scene. Of course, Dr. Abraham's body was found Sunday morning in Tangipahoa Parish. Quite gruesome manner, in fact. So if you could help, any details, help identify that person, help identify any little tip that might help them, the number to call is Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP.
Central Parish School Board says they want to sue Meta, the parent company of Facebook, and TikTok. Why? Well, what do they think they're going to accomplish? They say that those social media sites doing too much damage to their kids.
If you're interested, you can head to that meeting, 6:30 tonight. It's going to be on Webster Street in Donaldsonville. Also want to let you know about some changes to SNAP. If you are a SNAP recipient that are alerted about these changes, you probably got a letter about that in the mail. Just know that that is going into effect today. You can read up on it on our website.
Also today, Jared cooking up a nice little forecast for us. The sunrise is now rising.
Yeah.
Look, it's still a little bit warm as fall shows up, but it's calm.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not as nice as Johnny's apple, but
Well,
you know, we do the best we can. Very few things are as good as that apple.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to nice day today, tomorrow, and the rain chances really aren't that.
You hear it?
Still eating it.
I was wondering where it was until I heard the sound.
Well,
We
I got to touch up. I got to repaint the green wall. So
What are you painting it?
Staying busy.
touch up. I'm painting the green.
Oh, okay.
I think it's fabric, but okay.
When was the last time you wore green, Jared?
Like 1980s?
Yeah, see, there you go.
It's time to gear up for game day at Team Toyota. Right now, get a new 24 Tacoma for just $269 a month, or get 2.99% financing for 72 months on a new Toyota Tundra. Score thousands in savings on your new Toyota from Team Toyota. I-12 at O'Neill.